Hello and welcome back to Barn and Soul, the podcast where we celebrate the charm, quirks, and stories of farm life, one episode at a time. I'm Kendall, and today I'm going to introduce you to some of the true stars of Dalby Farm, the animals themselves. If you've ever wondered what it's like to live among creatures with as much personality as people, you're in for a treat. From the biggest talkers to the gentlest souls, from troublemakers to wise old legends, this episode is dedicated to the unique personalities that make up our farm family. And while I won't get to everybody, rest assured we will eventually cover the whole crew. Let's start with the talkers and drama queens. Some animals at Dalby Farm are quieter and reserved, and then there are those that demand to be heard. These are the talkers, the drama queens, and the self-appointed alarm systems of Dalby Farm. Sheldon the whiny goat. If there's one thing Sheldon will never do, it's suffer in silence. Whether he's hungry, bored, or simply craving attention, his signature whiny calls echo across the farm. He's an Arapara Island goat, one of the rarest goat breeds in the world. They are known for being intelligent and expressive, and Sheldon takes that to the next level. His distinct, almost pleading calls make it clear when he's feeling ignored, hungry, or just in the mood for some drama. Now, all geese are loud, but Sebastian, he takes it to another level. His honks serve as both an alarm system and a cry for attention. If he spots anything even slightly out of place, be it a squirrel, a leaf blowing in the wind, or, heaven forbid, a new visitor, he makes sure everyone knows. Pigs are highly vocal creatures, and Pickles and Pablo, the Ossabaw Island hogs, are no exception. Ossabaw hogs are an ancient breed, descended from Spanish pigs left on Ossabaw Island over 400 years ago. They're known for their adaptability and survival skills, but also for their extreme enthusiasm about food. If they see you from across the yard, whether it's feeding time or not, you'd think the sky was falling. Their wails are so dramatic that neighbors who didn't know us used to worry something terrible was happening. We've had to reassure people that no animals are ever harmed here. They're just hangry. Peacocks, they don't just strut, they shout. Their distinctive calls can sometimes sound like someone screaming for help. If you're new to the farm, it can definitely be alarming, but really they're either showing off for the ladies or reacting to a shadow that startled them. Ever the divas, peacocks make sure their voices carry across all the land. Despite the noisy ones, Dalby is also home to animals with the kindest hearts, creatures who form strong bonds and love nothing more than affection. In between their wails and cries of being spoiled with snacks and treats, Pickles and Pablo are maybe a little misunderstood. We mentioned they're highly intelligent and emotionally complex. Unlike commercial pigs, Ossabaws have a unique ability to form deep attachments with their caretakers. Pickles and Pablo may seem food obsessed, and they are, but they also seek out love and snuggles, proving that pigs are more than just farm animals, they're family. These two bonded with us almost instantly. If you sit with them, they'll nuzzle up to you like giant bristly puppies, vocally and whining for snuggles. Then we have our Shetland sheep, Mari, Honey, Elsie, and Adele. Shetland sheep are one of the oldest sheep breeds, originating from the Shetland Isles of Scotland. They're small, hardy, and known for their soft, fine wool. While they can be aloof at first, once they trust you, they enjoy scratches and even have a habit of standing near you, not so subtly asking for attention. At first glance, they would have you believe they're either terrified of humans or far too regal to lower themselves to our level, but patience is key. Once they decide you're trustworthy, they'll let you pick hay off their coats and give them the best scratches of their lives. There's something really special about earning the love of an animal who doesn't give it easily. Fun fact, Shetland sheep are known for their fine wool, but they also have a deeply ingrained flocking instinct. Once they trust you, they see you as part of their flock, which, as we said, is basically an honor. Every farm has its troublemakers, and Dalby is no exception. Trudy, the Arapara Island goat, is your escape artist, if you need one. You know, Arapara goats are known for their intelligence and agility, but Trudy took it to another level. She used to get her head stuck in the fence so often that my mom and grandfather had to redesign the entire fence for the pen. And before that, we had to improvise. They creatively attached a thin PVC pipe across both of her horns to keep them from slipping through. The vet was exceptionally impressed by their ingenuity with that one. That was a first for that vet. True to his name, Houdini the duck had a knack for escaping the waterfowl enclosure for a few years there. Ducks are excellent problem solvers, and we had no idea how he was pulling off his escapes until one of our toddler caregivers cracked his secret. It was a mystery, though, that entertained so many of our visitors for several weeks. Then there's Pablo, the Osaba Island hog, who I've mentioned now in several of these categories, but apparently, according to my mom, she swears he's an escape artist. So I have yet to see this for myself. My brother has also had an encounter where he escaped. Regardless, we joke about his slick nature, and Osaba hogs are incredibly resourceful, so I really don't put it past him. Some animals naturally take charge, whether of their species or their caregivers. As such, every farm has its natural leaders, and at Dalby, some power struggles are real. Sheldon, as the buck, is naturally kept separate from the does, but we also have to be careful when we go to his pen because depending on who you are, he may or may not be extra aggressive. For some reason, for example, my husband James is constantly navigating his way around Sheldon carefully, as Sheldon seems to be more aggressive towards James, whereas with me, he's a total love puppy. So, I mean, his horns are no joke. We are all safe and sound and careful around him because no matter what, he's still an animal. But, yeah, Sheldon is certainly a boss in his own right. But within the doe herd, Betty kind of runs the show, but then maybe it's Trudy. So you'd think, first of all, Mabel, Betty's mom, would be the boss. But Betty, who will have her own special episode, Betty has made it very clear that's just not the case. If Mabel dares to get a treat before Betty, it's just not happening. Betty will let the whole world know that this is an injustice. And again, with Trudy, who is not even in any way related to Betty or Mabel, but still the same breed. They're a different bloodline, though. But Trudy has this weird rivalry with Betty that got so intense that Trudy was separated from Mabel and Betty after causing an injury. We literally need a mediator. Honestly, I read a few months ago that when it comes to does, pretty much, and this might not surprise some of you, but some of the does out there they will fight to the end. They will not let go of their doe queen status, so to speak. And that's what appeared to be happening with Betty and Trudy. They were just never going to get along. So we separated them. The hope is that we will breed Trudy and she will have her own little family, much like Mabel has her baby Betty. But yeah, they kept us They keep us on our toes even still. Of course, no farm is complete without a few roosters who think they're the kings of the barnyard. Luckily, most of ours love people, but the occasional overconfident rooster does pop up, and we have to put him in a separate pen. Sometimes indefinitely, sometimes we rehome him. It depends, but either way, they need to get along. So there are some underdogs and survivors, if you will. As I mentioned, the Arapara Island goats, Sheldon, Trudy, Mabel, Betty, they're all part of one of the rarest breeds in the world. There are estimated to be fewer than 500 left globally. Conservation efforts focus on preserving their lineage through breeding programs and protected sanctuaries like Dalby, and these efforts are ongoing. So every Arapara born here is a small victory for their survival. And then there's the Australorp chicken. Not long ago, this breed was considered endangered, but thanks to dedicated farms like ours, they've officially graduated off that list. Same goes for the American chinchilla rabbit, Royal Palm turkey, and Shetland sheep. Conservation success stories like these remind us why we're doing what we're doing. Some animals leave behind legacies that outlast their time with us, and Gypsy, the peacock, he wasn't a rare breed, but he had a rare spirit. He arrived after a nearby bird owner supposedly irresponsibly released dozens of peafowl into the wild. In the New England area, that is a death sentence. Yeah. Unlike the others, Gypsy found his way to us, and he stayed. He greeted visitors, he roamed freely, and even watched our family dinners through our glass door. After, I think, about a decade of being our unofficial farm mascot, he passed peacefully in the garden area, but would forever be a part of our history. Then there was Lovey the dovey, rescued and nursed back to health. Lovey lived an unusual life, sharing a space with Beulah, our tortoise, our Russian tortoise. For a time, we had a literal turtle-dove duo, and visitors loved the irony. Pumpkin the pig, a longevity champion. Situate the Arapara goat, 19 years. Both Pumpkin and Situate made it to 19 before old age got the best of them. Baby the goose lived to be 29 years. When animals reach these ages, it's a milestone, and we like to think it's a testament to the care and love that they received. This is literally like a basic superlative synopsis of some of the best names on the farm right now. I'm going to get into so many more as we go along here, but I wanted you to have the beginnings of who you're going to be hearing about and sort of where they sit on the personality chart. Whether they're talkers, sweethearts, troublemakers, or survivors, they each contribute to the magic of our farm. Thank you for listening, and if you want to support our mission, share this podcast, follow us on social media, and come visit us at dalbyfarm.com. Our country store has something for everybody. Until next time, take care, and don't forget to appreciate the rare and wonderful things in life.